Hi, Trader Luke here. I've been sharing with you some of my ideas for how I get the most from the Forex Smart Tools trade log, and today I want to show you my idea for the watch list. Take a look at this. So I begin setting this up by looking at the setup page of the trade log, and I create a custom parameter. I do that by clicking Add, and I'm going to call it Watch List. I'm then going to note that it's an option list, and I'm going to just write a little description to help me remember what I'm doing with that. Once it's created, I then click Options, and I'll start to enter the option names. I'm good with that. Really soon, kind of soon, keep an eye on it. And I'm going to save that. Then I'm going to remember to turn that parameter on. Now I'm all set. Next, I'm going to start entering the trades that I'm keeping an eye on. Here's one of them here on the Euro-Yen. I won't go into all the specifics about how I'm trading now, but this is one of my setups. So I'm watching for this to hit that red line and bounce up and continue on. So I've just made a little arrow for myself, and I'm even going to take a screenshot of it. File, save as picture, active chart. Now I'm back in my trade log. I'm looking at the trade input page, and I click the button New Trade. I get a clean slate. All I have to do is pick the currency pair that I'm interested in. This was the Euro-Yen. And if I have several brokers going, I'd pick that broker account too. As soon as I pick that broker account, things turn red telling me, yep, I've begun a trade. Now I don't have to enter any more of the information about it in because I haven't entered the trade yet, so I don't have an entry time or entry price. I could go ahead and say whether I'm going long or short, so I am going long. I'll be buying if I do enter this trade. And I want to make sure that I go to my watch list and say I'm interested in this really soon. And I'm going to put in that screenshot I just made. So now that screenshot is stored along with this trade. I'm going to make some notes about that now here too. The great thing is that if I end up entering this trade for real, I've already got a head start about setting it up. I also used to find that sometimes when I'd entered a trade and I'd come back later, I forgot why I was really entering it. You know, I knew at the time, but then things changed and the chart looked different and it wasn't as easy to see what was I thinking when I saw that as a good setup, especially if a trade doesn't work out. So by doing this, I can really follow the progress of my thinking, and that helps me learn to be a better trader. So you get the idea about how easy that is to set up in my trade input page. New trade, currency pair, broker if I have more than one broker, notes, and most importantly, I make a notation on my watch list for where it is. Of course, if I go into this trade for real, I can just take the watch list and put it to the blank there, and it takes it off the watch list. And if I decide not to actually enter this trade, I go to Actions and I simply choose to delete the trade. Now for the most important part. Now that I've put in all the trades that I'm watching right now, I click the Analysis page. So here we are on the Analysis page. The analysis comes with a number of presets, and you can create your own to see more details. But the built-in presets are today, this week, this month, this year, all, and open trades. For our purposes in our watch list, we want to be looking at open trades. All the other lists are only showing closed trades only, but the open trades shows us what trades we've set up in our watch list. Of course, it also shows us what trades we may have open right now. When we have an open trade that we've actually entered into, we want to make sure that the watch list is blank. And of course, you'll notice another difference is that the lot size here for these actually entered trades shows some numeric number, whereas all of our watch lists automatically come up as 0 number of lots and no entry time, of course. And it tells us whether we're watching to go in long or short. That's great too. Now, I want to make this list really usable for me. So I want to sort it. I can do that by simply clicking on the watch list whatever head title I click on sorts according to that preference. The first time I click, it's sorting from A to Z. The second time I click, it's sorting from Z to A. Now in this case, it worked out really well because I was clever when I gave the names for how I wanted to order my watch list. I said the things that are really important to me, I'm going to have a name that is close to the letter Z, so it'll pop up to the top of the list. Really soon is the first thing I see. Then down the list, closer to the letter A, is kind of soon, and keep an eye on is even closer to letter E, because E is less than I. Okay, so that is my list right there. Now I also want to see what notes I may have written for myself. So I click on Edit again, and the columns that I can choose to have displayed pop right up for me in this Edit dialog box. I'm going to go down here to Notes, and I'm going to turn that on. You'll notice that it says display length 12. Well, that means that automatically it's going to show 12 characters. I'll show you what that looks like. There it is. We can just see the beginning of the little note that I had in there. If I want to see more, I would have just gone into Notes here, and I can right-click and choose the display length. Let's say I want to make that 80 characters, so I can read more of that note. And there I get quite a bit of the note that I was thinking of. If I have a wider screen, of course, I could be looking at more of it. And then, of course, at any time that I want to read more of my complete note, all of these are hyperlinks that take me right back to that trade that I started entering in. I can click on this, and I'm back to my trade input page. I can see the screenshot that I entered, and I can read the complete text of my note. Another thing about the analysis page is that I can print this out, so I can have a piece of paper right in front of my computer that reminds me of these are the things I'm looking at to watch, and why I'm looking at them, and what trades I also have open. So there's two ways to do this. One is that you can click this button over here and it exports it as an Excel spreadsheet. For those of you who know Excel or open office spreadsheets, you'll be able to take it from there. Another thing, of course, is just to print it. We'll look at the print preview, and it looks like a nice, easy to read list that we'd expect to be able to work with. And it's in the order that you want to watch, from the most important down to the watch a little bit later list. So that's how I use the watch list. Keep an eye on this series because we'll be going over other clever ideas one by one like this for how to get the most out of using your trade log. Be sure to visit forexsmarttools.com for more information about the trade log and the calculator and free money management videos.